He said, give bread to the hungry, feed the clothe the naked, do this, do that. He said, but give nothing to the wicked.
Yeah.
And it wasn't it didn't give a detail. Wicked is wicked. I don't care if he's an Israelite. I don't care if he's a Hebrew. I don't care if you know who God is.
Yeah.
If he's wicked, he said, don't give him nothing. Don't give him nothing. Tom She.
Ask counsel of all that are wise.
Ask counsel of all that are wise.
And despise not any counsel that is profitable.
Bless
El Israel thy El always. The desire of him that thy ways may be directed. And all thy paths and counsel may prosper. For every nation hath not counsel, but El Israel himself giveth all good things. And he humbleth whom he will, as he will. And therefore, my son, remember my commandments, not let them be put out of thy mind. Now I signify to thee that I committed 10 talents to Gabael, the son of Gabrias, at Rages in Media. And fear not, my son.
What verse you at?
21, last verse.
Go ahead.
Fear not, my son, that we are made poor, but thou hast much wealth, if thou fear El Israel. And depart from all iniquity, and do that which is pleasing in his sight.
He said, fear not, my son, that we are made poor, but thou hast much wealth, if thou fear God and depart from all sins, and do that which is pleasing in the eyes of God. So to depart from transgressions and sins, you please God by doing these things, man. But we're not worried about pleasing God. We're only worried about pleasing ourselves.
Right.
That's the only thing we worried about is ourselves. And with that, all right, that's not good. With that, I already got what was bought, and I'm going to say Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
And I'm going to call up the next speaker, Chief Mikhail Ben Level.
This is good now. Yeah, just gotta wait for it to kick in. Giving all praises to the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. Giving all due respect to my father, my teacher, and my leader, Chief Eleazar Ben Dodo, of the tribe of Lewi. Giving all due respect to princemen, brothers and sisters, visitors, mothers of Israel. I bid you on the tongue of our forefathers. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
We're going to go to 1 Kings chapter 16. I told you guys was to read this. This was homework. You're going to see that this chapter and the chapter after that will show you why we are in the predicament we are in with God. Okay? 1 Kings chapter 16. Whenever you're ready, Chief Hazard.
In the 17th year of Pekah, son of Remaliah, Ahaz, son of Jotham, king of Yehudah, began to reign. 20 years old was Ahaz when he began to reign.
Ahaz, 20 years old, he began to reign. Where? In Jerusalem. At this time, we have 2 kings. Okay? Very rarely, you see a country has 2 leaders. That means not everybody's agreeing. That means it's a split. That means one has a different view than another. That was to show you that we weren't right when we got split. Why? Because we wanted to reject God as our king. We would have had God as our king. God, not a man that sit on the throne. But they didn't want that. So the Most High gave them a king.
Right.
And then you know what wound up happening? The people turned on that king and made their own king. So now we have Jeroboam. He was the first king in Samaria. That's where they left Jerusalem. They said, look, man, that's for y'all. The king of Jerusalem is for the Judites and the Benjamin and the little bit of Levi that's down there. But the rest of Israel is for over here, Samaria. And that's where the party was at. Yeah. The parties that God did not sanction.
Yeah.
The things that was going on that wasn't sanctioned was going on in Samaria. Israelites. I'm not talking about no heathens. This is before they were kicked out. Okay?
Right.
Solomon's son, his grandson, told Jeroboam, yo, you running down on us and trying to ambush us, but God is with us here. Because over here, we do his commandments. He said, down to the offerings and the tithes is done the way God commanded in the book of the law of Moses. So back then, in his time, their reference was the law of Moses, which is the law. And that's supposed to be our reference today.
Right.
And this is what he told them. You're not going to win because God is with us.
You can't win.
He didn't listen. And he got beat. He had to wind up running. All right? How you come to ambush me and sneak attack me and wind up running? God was with me. God was with them. But now it's a split. Whoever want to serve God, everybody's Israel. Everybody I'm talking about is Israelites. Okay?
Yeah.
But not everybody was godly. Not everybody was right. So it doesn't matter who was the true and living seed today. Because the true and the living seed was not correct before God. The true and the living seed, most of the true and living seed of Israel, of Yaakov's descendants, were not correct before God. They did not keep his commandments. The majority left off, just like today. Back then, today, same thing. The majority are all not going to follow these commandments. The party is going to be in Samaria all the time. The forbidden party. The stuff that Israel ain't supposed to be doing is done in Samaria. When I don't feel like going to Jerusalem right now because they're too strict over there. They don't eat. They go by the law, so I can't eat the stuff that I like to eat over there. I could go over here by Samaria and eat it. So everybody started going to Samaria. And you have one guy named Tobit. Everybody coming to Samaria, Tobit sneaking to Jerusalem. Yeah, I said sneaking because if the wicked Israelites caught him, they would have killed him.
Yeah.
Because, hey, what you doing going down there? You belong over here with us. But what y'all doing ain't correct. Y'all live in Samaria, but I don't live like them. When it's time for me to officiate the God, I go down to Jerusalem. So they say, okay, we're going to start building cities to stop these guys from going. So if I don't serve God, I don't want you serving God. That's what wickedness does. You have to identify it. Okay? Tamshi.
20 years old was Ahaz when he began to reign, and he reigned 16 years in Jerusalem, and did not that which was right in the sight of Israel.
Now you got the kings now in Jerusalem starting to mess up. Okay? All the kings of Samaria were messed up. All of them served other gods. From Jeroboam on down to Hoshea. Hoshea was the last king in Samaria. So from Jeroboam to Hoshea, not one of them followed after the footsteps of David, their father. But in Jerusalem, you had kings. One minute you had a king that wasn't good. The next minute you had a king that came back and he did it with his father. His father started up. Hezekiah's father, Ahaz. Ahaz went to another country and came back and said, see this altar that we burn our offerings to God on? Put it to the side. And here you priests, this is the priest can't say no. You got to listen to the king. He said, here's the blueprint that I got from the heathen king in Assyria when I went to go bow to him. He said, here, this is the new offering. And he made a new offering there, and they served God not on that offering. They served idols of wood and stone on that offering. But then after that king died, his son came up, but his son was a righteous king, Hezekiah. And he reformed Israel. You know what reform means, right? Yeah. This is a bad guy. This is a bad child, bad teenagers, but he's been reformed. He's been reorientated. Now he's good, right? He didn't just stay in Jerusalem. He went all over Israel. Kicked out all the witches, homosexuals. Yeah, it said there was homosexuals around that time.
But that's my family.
In Israel. He said, look, y'all got to get out of here. And they were the ones that were the priests. After a while, you're going to see Tamshi.
Like David, his father. But he walked in the way of the kings of Israel.
He didn't walk after. See, David set the pace. David set the pace for you to look and say, if I want to follow God, look, all I gotta do is look at this guy.
Right.
Read about David, see the things he did, see the things he didn't do, see his reaction, see how he handles situations, and you will be able to walk in his footsteps. But this guy didn't do it, Tamshi.
But he walked in the way of the kings of Israel.
He walked in the ways of the kings of Israel. The kings of Israel is over in Samaria with a party act. You know, y'all gonna find out what party I'm talking about, Tamshi.
Yea. He made his son to pass through the fire. According to the
He made his
abomination of
son
the
pass through the fire. You know what that is today? They make their son pass through the water. That's baptism.
Baptism.
The original baptism was with fire.
Fire, and the baby
And
died.
the baby died.
Yeah.
Today,
That's the original
oh, it's
baptism.
barbaric. It's humane. Okay, so you devote the baby's life to always be a heathen. Now that baby's not dead, but he might as well as be. Because when you get that baby up to that guy, that corrupt man that's not a priest, and he dipping, damn near drowning the baby in water, God never said to do this in none of his commandments. He said circumcise on the 8th day. Today, if you can't get it done on the 8th day, just get it done. That is the requirement when you have a child. You don't have to take that child and do nothing else. Nobody has to validate that child by God. You did that already by having a man child or a woman child. But see, back then, they didn't know God. All they know is that we saw a big fire in that mountain range. And we heard a voice. We know it was God. They associated God with fire, but that's all they knew. See, God told Israel, I spoke to you out the midst of the fire. He didn't speak to these people or that people or that people. So they say, well, man, all they know is fire. So now in their head is, we're going to make up what we think in our head is God, and it's going to be called a fire God. And we're going to give up all our kids to the fire God. That's why God said, do not give your daughters and your children to the fire God Momo. You shall do that no more, because y'all was doing that in Egypt. Y'all was doing that in Babylon. Abraham was living that way. Right. You know, in Babylon, in ancient Babylon, your first son gets burnt. Think about it. Can you do that today? Can you take your son? Can you take your son and burn him? But back then you would. Trust me. Because the belief was stronger. Even in idols, the belief was stronger. Okay? Remember, he had to tell the children of Israel, don't do this, because this is what they grew up. The world grew up doing this. The world grew up doing Christmas. The world grew up doing it. So I'm telling you, with the world, with all these things, sacrifices was human sacrifices in there. Okay? That was the highest sacrifice you could give to an idol. God don't deal with that. I said, no. See, everything with God is different. When you have a children, when you get married, okay, everything is different. So he said, look, you circumcise him. Now he is able, he said what? He's in the covenant. You know what that means? That spirit that's on that child, he's gonna bend when he hears this. He's gonna pay attention when he hears this. He's gonna be attracted when he hears this. He's gonna be like, oh, what's that? He's gonna have some type of affinity towards this because he was circumcised. He got a chance to be in the covenant of God. But when he gets grown and he's older and he can make his own decisions, now he's on his own. There's no excuse now. Because you were shown this. You were sick. Oh man, yeah, I used to do that. Why you stop? I ask people that. I said, what happened? You know what they do? Back in the day, they would blame other people. Now they can't do that. They put their head down. I said, yeah, you know. Don't put your head down and say you don't know. You know. You gotta get stronger. You have to stop yourself to elevate with God. You're in your own way. I'm stopping myself. You're not stopping me. I can't blame you for my wrongdoing, my shortcomings with God. Well, that's what we do. That's what we do, and that's a lie. Tell she.
according to the abominations of the heathens, whom Israel cast out.
Now
from the
he
children of Israel.
followed these kings of Israel by doing according to the abominations of the heathen.
Yeah.
Because these guys corrupted themselves by doing what the heathen do.
Mm-hmm.
What the heathen do is abominable. God hates it. Whatever the heathen do that God hates, it's abominable to us. It's supposed to be abominable to us. Okay? Somebody has to say, hey, no. We don't do that here. We don't say that here.
Mm-hmm.
We don't think like that here. Or you can't wear that coming in here. You don't get this nowhere else. Look, certain Israelites' house, you don't get that.
Mhm.
That's why there's a party in Samaria. Yeah, they're Israelites, but they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing there. Tell she.
And he sacrificed and burnt incense in the high places. And
You
on the hills.
sacrifice and burn incense. You only burn incense to God. These are fake gods, so they burnt incense to the fake gods. Incense was not meant to fragrance your house. Nobody in the ancient world used incense. Incense was made to worship. And the only ones that handled that was the high priest, the priest. And the only time he messed with that is in the priestly laws when there's certain times come. When he got to go into the Holy of Holies once a year, he got to use that incense. The incense is made to use as a smoke screen. So that when God is in there, in that same room with that high priest, the high priest cannot visibly see God lest he die. Same effect when Moses went up into the mount, into the thick darkness where God was. He says, God said, I spoke face to face with Moses, but I was able to see his face, but Moses wasn't able to see my face lest he die. You get so close to these men got so close to God. Man, look, right here. I'm not talking to you in your dream, not waiting for you to go to sleep. Because how you get there, I could talk to you face to face. Your physical being can be in front of me, but you just can't see me. That's why you, Aaron, older brother, you, older sister, y'all wasn't supposed to be talking about this guy. Because he married an Ethiopian woman. You can't correct him. Leave him alone. That's what God did. He called all three of them there. Moses didn't know what they were talking about. He called all three. He said, yo, you see this dude here? I speak to him face to face. The way I deal with him, I don't deal with nobody else. So you're going to have to give him some honor, man. Don't shoot him down. You can't shoot him down. I shoot him down. That's what God told him. That's what that was about. Certain people's positions, you better remember their positions. Remember your position. The lieutenant is wrong, right? But can a rookie tell a lieutenant anything? The captain gonna tell, or the chief of the police, right or wrong, higher in command. And that's how this go. People have to stay in their places. That's what's going on now. God said, I will return to my place. So that means everybody has a place, don't you?
He sacrificed and burnt incense in the high places and on the hills and under every green tree.
Because you can't see him. That's why. Up in the hills, you see the smoke, but you can't see who's doing it. By the time you get up in that hill later on that day and hike up there, they're gone. And that's where they was sacrificing the other gods, don't you?
At that time, Rezin, king of Syria, recovered Elat to Syria, and drave the Jews from Elat unto Edomites. And the Edomites came to Elat and dwelt there to this day. So Ahaz sent messengers to Tiglath-Pileser, king of Assyria, saying, I am thy servant and thy son. Come up and save me out of the hand of the king of Assyria. Out of the hand of the king of Syria.
What verse you in?
7. At the end of 7. And out of the hand of the king of Israel, which rise up against me. And Ahaz took the silver and gold that was found in the house of El Israel, and in the treasures of the king's house, and sent it for a present unto the king of Assyria. And the king of Assyria hearkened unto him, So the king of Assyria
So he
went
took all the gold and everything that was in the house of the Lord to pay off this guy. The same guy that God caused to come and run down on him because of his sins. So now he's paying this guy off to keep him off of him. Tamshu. He can't return to God now.
Yeah.
Because God created the situation because of his behavior. Tamshu.
And the king of Assyria hearkened unto him, for the king of Assyria went up against Damascus and took it and carried the people.
Tiglath-Pileser, the king of Assyria, in the Apocrypha and certain other places, they call him Pul, P-U-L. But his whole name is Tiglath-Pileser, king of Assyria. God stirred this king up. At this time, Assyria became the world power, like how America is a world power. That was the only world power. There was no other world power that could go and match Assyria at that time. And this king was at the top of it, so he ruled the world. Okay? And when he did that, let me see, it says, what verse we at?
End of 9.
End of 9, okay. So he said, the king of Assyria hearkened unto him, for the king of Assyria went up against Damascus and took it and carried the people of it to captive to Kir and slew Rezin. He said, look, man, I got beef with Syria. Can you take care of them for me? So he went and he hit Syria up. But look, that favor that I did for you, you owe. Because you wasn't mighty enough to handle your own. So guess what? You under me now. Tamshu.
And carried the people of it captive to Kir, and slew Rezin. And King Ahaz went to Damascus to meet Tiglath-Pileser, king of Assyria, and saw an altar that was at Damascus.
So he went, remember I told you, he went and he saw an altar that was out there, and he came back and copied the architecture of it. When he came back, this is where he got it from Assyria, or Assyrian temple. He went somewhere he had no business going in order to see that. In order to see what an altar looked like, a heathen altar looked like, you have to go in the place. Okay? So he was in there, and that's where he bowed. They have a picture of when he went there and bowed to the king of Assyria and paid tribute.
Yeah.
He had a robe on. The same Ahaz. This is what he had on. And you see them bow. And then when he went back, he went back with the blueprint. So he told him, he saw an altar that was at Damascus. Damascus is the same Damascus we hear about today in Syria. He said, and King Ahaz sent to Uriah the priest the fashion of it, meaning the blueprint of the altar and the pattern of it, according to the workmanship thereof. And Uriah the priest built an altar,
according to all that King Ahaz had sent from Damascus. So Uriah the priest made it against King Ahaz came from Damascus. And when the king was come from Damascus, the king saw the altar, and the king approached to the altar and offered thereon.
So he just coming back. He sent the blueprint to to Israel, while he was still visiting the Syrian king. So by the time he gets back, the construction is made. He stayed up there for a while. Altars are not small. Altars, you have some altars bigger than this building and taller than this building. Okay? They're constructs because it's a God that you using this to perform worship to. So it was a grandiose thing. And what you're putting on there is live animals, oxen and cows and bulls. It's not no small little barbecue grill you putting this thing on. It's not pieces of an animal. So by the time he got back, it was built. Tamshu.
And he burned his burnt offering and his meat offering, and brought his drink offering, and sprinkled the blood of his peace offerings upon the altar.
He made peace offerings, but none of that was to the Most High God. He made a peace offering to the Syrian God. Okay, Tamshu.
And he brought also the brazen altar, which was before El Israel, from the forefront of the house, from between the altar and the house of the Lord, and put it on the north side of the altar.
Okay, let me show you how it is, because how it's situated, right? He brought God's altar, the brazen altar, which was before God. He took it from the front where it was at, because it's in the front of that yard. See, when the priests take your offering from the door, you go about your business.
Yeah.
and he comes, and the offering is probably no more than 10 steps away from him. And he do his thing. Now it's in the front. So now he said he took it and put it on the north. Last night I was checking on the compass, right? This is east. Yeah. From that doorpost right here, to right behind you, Chief Malak. Right there, that first bar. This is east. Everything in here is east. This is north. This is west. This is south. The way it's situated, he took it and put it in the north. In the temple, there's nothing situated in the north. So you know what he did, right? He stashed it. You know how hoarders do? Oh no, I'm gonna keep this. I'm not gonna throw that away. But put that in the closet. That's what they did to the altar of God. That's what he did, really. He pushed it there out of the forefront and put the new altar that he had just got made. He put that there. And there he did offerings to strange gods in there. All of this went down inside the temple, Tamshi. It's He brought 14, verse 14.
And he brought also the brazen altar which was before the Lord from the forefront of the house, from between the altar and the house of the Lord, and put it on the north side of the altar. And the king Ahaz commanded Uriah the priest, saying, upon the great altar, burn the morning burnt offering. Burnt offering,
shakari. Now, it's the shakari and the minka is none that, and there's an afternoon prayer also. None of that is going to the Most High. This is a foreign altar, okay? It's a foreign altar, not sanctioned by God. So whatever gets sacrificed there, it ain't going to God. Ain't accepting that. I'm just saying, if God accepts the sacrifices by fire, when these heathens do their offerings, ain't nothing getting accepted. Nothing's happening. But they don't see that. No. That's the part they don't see. That's why after the heathens do their sacrifice, after they wave it and do whatever to their God, they gotta eat it, or else it's gonna go bad. But when the fire comes down from God, you know what happens to that animal? You know what happens to that? It gets burned up. Tamshi.
And the evening meat offering, and the king's burnt sacrifice, and his meat offering, with the burnt offering of all the people of the land.
Meaning everybody got to bring up all your tithes and all of that got to come here now, Tamshi.
And their meat offering and their drink offerings, and sprinkle upon it all the blood of the burnt offering and all the blood of the sacrifice.
Whoever owns the offerings is the richest guy in the world in the ancient times. Do y'all know that? Yeah. Whoever has everybody bringing, because you're bringing food. You're bringing expensive materials. You're bringing a little bit. I don't have no food. I just got a bunch of shekels, man, here that go into the treasury. All right? That's what kept these guys rich. So today we go to work and we give up taxes. Yeah. How the president gonna get paid? How the government gonna get paid? They got Fort Knox. They got this. They're the same setup. And if we ain't got enough, we're going to find a reason to go to war with you and take your resources. It's all about resources. He said there was gold in that land. Oh, man, we going to run down on them. They got all the gold. Tamshi.
And all the blood of the sacrifice and the brazen altar shall be for me to inquire about. Thus did Uriah the priest, according to all that King Ahaz commanded.
He got to. See, back then, you get put to death for insubordination. You don't follow an order, that's insubordination. You don't carry the order out, that's insubordination. It don't matter whether it was right or wrong. Like the king's word was like God. So you're right. Look, it ain't on him. It ain't on the priest. He's being forced to do it. I say that because if he don't do it, he's dead. That's right. That's right. So God ain't gonna look at him. He was doing the right thing. So this guy said, nah, man, no more of that. He said, well, what you doing? But this is God's stuff. Put him away and go get another low-life guy, get a low-life guy and make him a priest that'll do everything I want him to do.
Yep.
That's what's happening there. Back then, you got to watch it. You can't say, thus saith the Lord. Back then, in Israel, and we weren't among, we can't blame the heathen.
No.
Okay? We was amongst each other.
Yeah.
Jealousy crept in. Okay? This guy is king. I think I should be king.
Right.
But that's your older brother. All right, he ain't your older brother. This is the one your father picked. How about that?
Yeah.
Get the older than younger. Your father picked this one for the job. Your mother picked this one for the job.
Right.
But here you come, I should be king. Right or wrong? What happened to those guys? They dead. Guys killed, one guy killed all his brothers. He killed all his brothers. You know why? Because they pressed him. No, you can't live here with us. You can't be a part of this family.
Right.
They kicked him out of the family because your mother was a harlot. Mind your business, man. Y'all got the same father.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
That don't count for nothing.
That's right.
If you really honor your father, you would honor that.
Like 12 sons.
So only one guy, look, when he went and he killed everybody, the youngest one got away, Yotham. And he spit on the mountain, man. Because at the end of the day, even though this was done to you, you wasn't not supposed to wipe out your children like that. You wiping your brothers out, man. That's your father's son. That's your father's strength. Some of these guys is better than you.
Yeah.
So I'm not pointing no fingers at no heathens because God already told us not to follow them. We know how they think and we know how to get down.
Right.
I'm gonna keep it on us because we turn on each other.
Mm-hmm.
We turn on each other quicker than the dude out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Tough shit. We're quick to marry to women that are not Israelites. And we're quick to marry men that are not Israelites. Because I see that happening too now. Real quick. Tough shit. What Samson mother and father said? He said, they're not the wife of the children of your people of the tribe of Judah. Why you messing with that Philistine? Yeah, that's the thing. They are haughty. They look good. That stuff is attractive, but it's wicked.
That's right.
You don't want no turned out wife. Right or wrong? No man want a woman that's like that. So you shouldn't be attracted to it. Because if you are, that's all you're going to get. And then where's your children at? Where's the lineage coming from? Whoredom deads that. Whoredom brings about condoms, abortions, the pull-out method. Yeah. Preventative. To get the thrill, but not the baby. The object of sex was to have a child.
Right.
Now it's for sports.
Yeah.
People hunt, not to eat, just for the catch of it. Fishing, and you get the fish. You say, see, man, this guy here, and then he throw it right back in there.
That's crazy.
Okay? People hunt bears to catch them, and then let them go. Or put something on and attract them.
Yeah, that's it.
Back then, the hunter only hunt for food and for clothing.
Yep.
And you use the bones and stuff as tools and stuff, right?
Yep.
The Egyptian, he said, man, for you to be the king of the world, you gotta go out there and hunt your own lion by yourself. And that's what every pharaoh had to do before he sat on the throne.
That's right.
The Greeks, y'all saw the movie.
Yeah.
They put that young boy who's supposed to be king out in the wilderness by himself. If he make it back by the end of the year, by the end of winter, he can sit and be king. He said, God said, I have not suffered you, Israel, to be that way. I didn't put you through all these things for you to be on top and be close to me. You ain't got to burn idols. You ain't got to burn nothing to idols. You don't have to burn candles. You don't have to drink blood. You don't have to divine. You don't have to go to nobody and ask for your future, because if you do these commandments, you already know your future. I already told you what's going to happen if you do these commandments.
Right.
You don't need no palm reader.
Right.
I have not suffered you to do so.
That's right.
He said, I didn't make it to it. You got to be like them. That's what he's saying. I don't want you to be like them. You ain't even got to do to get results in life. Just, look, come to me. Look, ask me. Bend down, put your hands up and ask God. And be on point when you get up for an answer. That's why our belief is not strong.
Shema Israel. Shema Israel.
That's why. Tell she.
Thus did Uriah the Kohen, the priest, according to all that King Ahaz commanded.
Uh-huh.
And King Ahaz cut off the borders of the bases and removed the laver from off them and took down the seed from off the brazen
You know what
houses.
this is, man? You know what he did? You know what that is?
Stripping
The
it.
brazen seed. Okay, in the tabernacle, right? It's called a laver. Looks like a big bathtub.
Yeah.
This is where Moses, Aaron, and his sons only
Stripping it.
they wash their hands and their feet before they go into the holy place. That water does not get changed. That is holy. That is holy water. Everything in the temple was holy. The dirt on the ground was holy. There was no sweeping. Not look on a regular day. It don't have to be the Shabbat. There is no cleaning in the holy place, in the sanctuary. You spraying Clorox. Nah, man, because give it a shine. You don't need that.
You don't use a
It's
bathing
blood.
mush.
Look, you know how much blood is in that place.
You don't use a bathing mush in there either.
You don't use the vegetable.
Only
And
Zohar in
their
there from
metabolism
animals.
is so correct,
From the
they
animals.
don't
That's right.
pass air
That's
in
right.
there.
That's right. That's right.
That's right.
That's right. That's right.
Our insides is dogged up. Their insides wasn't.
That's right.
Okay? Their anatomy and biology and digestive system went along with God and
Right.
everything that God had put forth to them.
Very bad. That's right.
So you wasn't doing it wrong. Excuse me. None of that.
Yeah. That's right.
We be up here coughing, sneezing. None of that. These wasn't sick people. God said, you do my commandments, I get rid of all the diseases, all the plagues in Egypt, even the ones you scared of. And we are scared of diseases. Have you ever went to the doctor and the doctor tell you, say, oh, I have some unfortunate news. It's a word that they use. Like you got something now. He said, the guy said, well, look, man,
Contract.
you have high blood pressure. That's not good news. That's not good news at all, man. And now you're scared that your head gonna blow up. Because that's what happens when you have high blood pressure. You could bust a vessel. Mostly here, this is the most dangerous part. But it can happen anywhere in your body, in your toes, Byron. Your body can happen anywhere.
No box salt.
Okay?
That's right. No box salt.
See, I read in Apocrypha where it said salt.
And that don't help.
Hold on,
I know
salt
where you're going. I
and
know
all
where you're
these
going.
things
That's right.
don't do nothing
That's
to the
right.
righteous.
That's right. I must be wicked. man.
Sugar.
'Cause
You ain't getting no
my
diabetes.
pressure sugar.
We get these things because we have lived like the heathen, so we are going to get the same consequences and penalties as the heathen.
That's right.
You understand that?
I'm with you too. Yeah.
They didn't get diabetes. Look, heathens didn't get that.
Nope.
What kind of world we live in, what kind of people in the world we are, and in now today, we're worse off.
Yeah.
Let me show you something. With the fish. Been getting fish, right? They dying. They're so fragile. You gotta have the water temperature right. Their behavior. The light gotta be on at a certain time. I said, yo, my mother told the man, I said, hey, when I used to get fish and put them in the crowd, I just get the fish. I pick out any one I want, and I just throw them in there. And I feed them what I want. And then one time we fed them matzahs. Pat piss out. Couldn't get the fish food. I was thinking about that last night. You took the man, you took the matzahs.
I didn't eat it.
crushed it up, threw it in that fish tank, and they ate it, and they lived by the word of God.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
By the word of God, they lived. Now we get fish. Killers. These guys are killers. They die easy.
But it's supposed to be.
I had to think about it. So I said, yo, well, how come pets get depressed? They get cancer now. Dogs get what we get. So as I'm thinking about it, I asked the man, I said, yo, it wasn't like, no, my mother, my Ima, asked the man, I've always been dealing with this, but I never had to do all these procedures, and they were never so quick to die. As my Ima said it, and the answer came to my head, it's my fault. It's man's fault. It's our fault. The more we sin on this planet, the more everything in this planet pays for it.
Yeah.
It said when Adam ate of that fruit, the first thing that happened, it said thorns and thistles start coming up in the grass, man. At that moment, certain things did go down. Now the word decompose exists. The word pining away exists. Now you look at a tree dies because you see the leaves fall off. Everything died. Before that, no leaf was going to die. Not one blade of grass turned green.
Tree live
That's
1,000
death.
years.
All of that is part of what man incorporated on this planet. And now we do worse than Adam. Leave Adam alone. He disobeyed one command. One direct, it was a direct command.
Yeah.
We go against direct commands all day. And we go against God's commandments. Way worse off than Adam. Leave Adam alone. Okay? Leave Eve alone. She got tricked, man. You've been tricked before. And now you know. That's why you know the games, because you got somebody put game on you before. And when it got put on you, look, man, walk away. Look, man, it's counterfeit. You want,
Man.
and I'm like this. Now the person know they don't hit me with the counter, they move because it's a fast moving business. So sometimes the boop, 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 you gotta keep moving, right? Yo, answer the phone. You know what you get?
They gone.
Listen, I ain't seen the dude for 6 months. I just saw him 2 days ago,
Oh man.
and I'm still tight. He tricked me. How do you think she felt? When she realized she ate of the fruit, now you know what wickedness is, you know what a lie is. She put together, oh man, this is what this guy wanted me to do. He made me think on this part, but I didn't see the big picture of this. I should have listened to God. I should have listened to my father. I should have listened to my mother. I should have listened to my husband.
That's right.
I should have listened to my wife. But sometimes, I mean, one time I said, please don't go nowhere. Please stay home. Come on, leave me alone. I wound up doing a bit. John, we don't come up here talking out of our idiosyncrasies. It's experiences also. Observance and experiences. We've been watched, and we have children, we have wives, we watch them. We've been through trial and error. So it's like more or less, know a little bit more what you're saying. And you can understand more to break it down to you guys. Yo, man, believe what you read. And if the more you read, the more you're going to do. Because you're believing what you read. But if you believe it, but you don't read, you ain't going to do nothing.
That's right.
Tell she.
And he took down the sea from all the brazen oxen that were under it and put it upon a pavement of stones.
Now, in the temple, there's a big, giant, it's like a pool. It's big and it's tall. You gotta, it's like a ramp. You gotta walk up and up it, all right? And that's for the priests to wash his hands and his feet. It's called the brazen sea. Today, you would call it a pool. But this is a holy, set-apart pool. It's only for that purpose. Now, in the tabernacle, before we had the temple, we had it in the tents. It looked like a tub. They called it the labor. But when we got to the temple, big things now. Big things now. That thing was like 35 feet high. 35 to 45 feet high to get up there, to get to the water. This guy, he took the borders of the brass This thing was elaborately made with brass. The legs that's holding it is made of gold and brass and stuff, right? He said he removed the labor from off them and took down the sea from the brazen. He took the water out. He took the water out and the brazen oxen that were under it. The legs of that sea was oxes, statues of oxes. Now you might say, hey, we're not supposed to have statues. We're not supposed to have statues.
Right.
That's God's house.
It had cherubims on the
They had cherubims bowing down.
on the curtains.
Okay? They had cherubims on the curtains. See, ain't nobody in there is going to be worshiping no image, and it's most holy. So God is allowed only there. Because somebody was like asking me, hey man, I read in the book that there's oxen, but ain't that an image? I said, look, so what you trying to say? You when you read that, you should have gotten this in your head. That's God's house.
Yeah.
He told us not to do it. Don't sometimes your parents tell you not to do certain things? You see them do it.
Yeah.
They say cuss words. They tell you not to say it. That's how it go. I run it. It's my house. It's my world. It's my universe. I do it if I want. But I don't want you to do it. I don't want nobody else to do it. Y'all get out of hand. We tell people that. That's the same thing God did. So don't question that. Everything in the temple was most holy to God. It belonged to God. It said the Lord's utensils was taken out of the temple and taken to Babylon. Then it was brought back in the time of Nehemiah. Then forward down to 70 AD. That's the last time any officiating went down. It's the last time anybody sacrificed to God and God accepted it. Was in 70 AD. That's the last time God accepted any sacrifice from man. 70 AD. Think about it. We're in 2024. Time sheet. So it's like, when you read, it's gonna make your mind think, man. It's gonna make your mind think. And it's good too to look up some of this stuff on YouTube. You can see what it looked like. The ancient ruins of these places. You see how big they are. You can get a size of how big the people was. You get this in your head more. You understand what I'm saying?
You said 70 AD?
70 AD, man.
5,000.
And really, we in 5,000. The Gregorian calendar, American, the world, the Western calendar is too. It's over 5,000 years, man. It's over 5,000 years. God has not accepted a sacrifice for man for his wrongdoings.
And only a few crying out.
So that's why, look. And the king, he said, man, at the time when the evening oblation shall be cut.
That's right.
He spoke about it.
So we comfortable over here.
And he kept warning them.
That's right.
Say, yo, man, what's the use of me giving you a pathway to get right?
Yeah.
Is keep yourself with sin off you, but you following everybody else and putting it on you. You can't even come near this place because you got too much going on. The priest can't do nothing now. He got to go. Know why? Nobody bringing up nothing to God.
Right.
That's how he eat. 5,784. From 70 AD to 5,784. It's even longer than 2024. That's what kept us around. Y'all know that, right? That place in Jerusalem. That God chose a place his name there. It's the way everything's set up. You guys do the law and the commandments in your houses. Then when it's time to come out, y'all go here. Your celebrations is about God. We don't have personal celebrations. The only personal celebration we have is when the child gets weaned. When he's circumcised. I could throw a party for that too. Hey man, my son getting circumcised. Bring the yayin. Not today is his birthday.
Yeah.
We don't celebrate birthdays. I really implore everybody online too. Look up the origin, the pagan origin of birthdays. All days that we ain't supposed to be celebrating has a pagan origin. You heard what this man read earlier about Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Do you see every holiday? They tell you in school how it started, but they don't tell you the whole story. They tell you with the Pilgrims and the Indians. And look, that story is true too, but they ain't tell you the bad part, what they did with them Indians too. Okay, but it goes further back from that. Where those Pilgrims came from? Europe. All European countries are pagan. They came over here with these ideas, these pagan ideas, where the Western world is filled with it, man. And yes, it was a pig before the turkey. Yeah. It's if you read Jeremiah 10 tonight, it'll tell you the beginning of Christmas trees, where it come from. Go there right now. Just to read it. I want you to go to Jeremiah 10. Everybody stay where y'all at, because I want you to hear. Okay? Jeremiah chapter 10. But this is an abominable thing. These are abominable seasons coming up, and every holiday has to have an artifact to go along with it to identify with it. And that tree, y'all don't even know how that tree goes into Thor and Odin and Normandy, Norse gods. Man, listen. Tamshi, read that, Jeremiah 10.
Hear ye the word which Israel speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus said Israel, learn not the way of the nations.
Learn not the way of the heathen. Don't inquire why they do what they do. Mind your business. Oh, they having fun over there, man. What's their celebration? Mind your business. Close the window. Boom. Don't look at them having fun. It's gonna make you want to go out there with them. I'll show you the keys of how to keep yourself correct. Don't long to be, oh man. But we can't see that yearning. That's wickedness. My father told me that's what wickedness is. Identify what it is in you. That feeling of, I'm saying, we can't just go. That is wickedness.
Say it again.
That little feeling of fun. Oh, but man, I don't see nothing wrong if we just dress up and take a picture. That's wickedness, man. That's what God will kill you for. Okay? That's the stuff he's talking about. We don't have nothing to do with that, man. And don't be afraid to down it. Make them respect you.
Right.
This is how God separates you. Because when you're among them, you're down it. The ones that are going to oppose you, they're going to stay away from you.
That's right.
That's how God separated us. He said, I separated you. My Lord separated you. Once we start doing this, there's going to be a separation, even in the family. Man, this is AJ, man. My cousin AJ, man. But you know what? He ain't bending. So guess what? I got to go somewhere else. That's why he told the man, get away from your family.
Yep.
Yeah, because your family ain't going to see this. He said, one from a family, two from the city. I've seen that. That's real, man. One out of a whole family tree. You got 16 cousins, 40 aunts. There's only one person.
Only one.
God looked at it and said, this one here, he's not that bad. And he got characters, or she got character, like Abraham, like my man. Yeah. You're going to be evaluated from them. They're the example. He says, you know what? I'm going to give him a chance to see what he's doing. Let him run into this brother in the street. And somehow he wind up here. Or he wind up in Shema. Or he wind up in DCP. As long as God's name is being called upon in that place, go there. All right, I got a problem with this brother. You don't have to come here. You better go and make Shabbat. You better make it.
Right.
Don't go and just be a heathen.
Right.
That's right.
Yes, brothers do be having problems with brothers. So you don't have to go there. You could go over here. You can go over there. You don't have to stay home.
That's
Come on,
right.
come on, come on, brother.
You can't stay home. You gotta come out today. Hey, I don't like nobody in this congregation, but it's not about y'all, and it's not about what I like. I'm gonna override it. And you know what? Y'all gonna override me here. Y'all don't like me either. But you know what? Leave him, man. He's here. He could be washing his car.
What is he doing here?
Why you ain't?
Say that again. Say that again.
What
I
is
heard that.
What is he doing?
I heard that before.
Why is he sitting in there?
Man, y'all, we never see him. I said,
Where you at, Johnny?
Maybe he made up his mind.
Where you at, John?
When I make up my mind, you ain't gonna know till later. You'll see the works later.
Where you at?
God's the angel said when you said that you was gonna make up your mind in your heart, you didn't say it out loud. I heard you, and God told me come hold you down.
Where you at, Pee Wee Herman? Come on, man.
Okay, that's how this thing go, man.
My boy here.
That's how it go, man. No, seriously.
For real,
Listen,
man.
you gotta get a grip on this.
Where you
We
at?
talk a lot of junk,
What
man.
you doing?
You ain't doing nothing. You're not even telling yourself, yo, listen, man, I'm supposed to be on this level. Okay? I'm not supposed to be here because I know too much. I'm supposed to be doing, yeah, you got to talk to yourself the way you would talk to me,
Right.
or you would talk to your man, or you would talk to somebody else who you rebuking or you correcting. That's the person you got to talk to. No. You got to curse yourself out.
That's
right.
what you need to do.
You got to get mad at yourself.
Look in
I
the
watched
mirror.
my father use his anger to serve God against his sin. He get mad at himself and call himself a weakling. And if you a weakling, he gonna call you one too. That way you can get strength. Not no, are you putting me down? Man, get out of here,
That's
man.
crazy. That's crazy.
I want to hear that, man. That's for people on drugs that can't get off their addiction, that need a program.
Rehab.
Time sheet.
Thus said Israel, run not the ways of the nations,
Uh-huh.
and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven.
Don't look in the sky and be awesome by nothing you see up there. Nothing amazes you. Nothing makes you want to go, oh, wow, look at that. Leave that alone. No
What's going on?
eclipse. No blood moon.
Word.
Leave all that stuff alone. Oh, look, baby, you see that? Mommy, what's that? That's a shooting star. You got to make a wish. Paganism.
Wishbones and all that.
Paganism. Wish upon a star. Blow the candles out. All that is together. The cow jumped over the moon. Y'all don't even know where them nursery rhymes came from. Them nursery rhymes came from witches and warlocks.
Yep.
London Bridge falling down.
Yep.
See, that's why, listen, man, it got to be a separation, man. Even from when the kids come out, you got to start pounding them kids in the head. This God hates. This is an abomination. This is no good. This is garbage. This is Astra. This is Basura.
Word.
We don't say good luck.
Good luck. Luck. Ooh, luck is a pagan god.
Yeah.
Fortune is a pagan god. Y'all didn't know that. There's no such thing as good or bad luck. Luck doesn't exist. Luck comes from fortune. Fortune is the name of a pagan fertility god. A lot of Babylonians, a lot of Syrians, and a lot of Egyptians had fertility gods. Fertility meaning fertile in the womb, fertile in the soil, farmland. Okay? And they have a lot of procedures and a lot of mannerisms that go with that. We don't mess with none of that. Ain't no such thing as good luck.
That's right.
It's cursing and blessing.
That's right.
That's what God put. He said the cursing and the blessing, good and evil, holy, unholy, righteousness, wickedness. That's what this is about, man. And whose side you on? That's what this is about. Time sheet.
Thus said Israel, learn not the way of the nations, and be
Uh-huh.
not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the nations are dismayed at them.
For the nations, he said, don't do that. Don't look up there and do all these things. Why? Because the nations do it.
Yeah.
Certain things, God saying, look, man, I just don't want you to do it because they do it. I don't want you to be nothing like them. That way, there's no connection there. You won't feel, okay, well, we got something in common. No, we don't got nothing in common. Township.
For the custom of the people are vain.
The custom of the people, the tradition of the people, the customary procedures of the people. When certain days come, they do certain things. It's a mannerism of holidays. So this is what people do. Up north, I've seen people do it. When I was living in the mountains, I've seen whole families with that axe go in the woods and he cutting down a tree. I used to be a lumberjack. So I know about cutting trees, okay? And he go in there and he cut a certain tree, not any tree for this day. It's a fir tree, okay? And it has to be in the fir family. Can't be a regular leaf. Don't y'all notice that? That's the case. Anybody can bring any tree. You don't see anybody bring any tree for the next day, right or wrong?
Right.
Right or wrong, y'all? It's a specific tree. So there's rules to that too. No, it's pine. You got evergreen. You got it all in that family. Still, you got that look. It got a triangular shape. All Christmas trees got a triangular shape. All of the Egyptian tombs have a triangular shape. All Babylonian heathen temples have a triangular shape. 3 in 1. Each side and each angle and each point stands and represents a deity, which is a false god. That's what a triangle is. That's why it's in school. That's why it's given the name triangle, a shape that has 3 angles,
Tri.
3 sides.
Trio.
Trio, Trinity. No such thing. Do y'all see how they put this all together? That's why you got to read to counter it. Township.
For the customs of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe.
With the work of the hands of the workman, that's the lumberjack. If you don't know how to, you ain't gonna know how to cut a tree down. We go out in the woods, I say, hey man, take that axe, we'll cut that tree down. You ain't gonna be able to. It's a certain cut. You know the cut. You gotta come down. First, you gotta look and see where the weight going. There's more branches on this side. Okay, I gotta cut on this side. I don't care how big the tree is, it's gonna lean. And you hear the ground shake. And they do that when it's that around this time. Next month, they're gonna be getting ready for it.
Big money.
Okay?
Big money.
Stay away from happy heathens. This is their season.
Right now.
We say, oh, man, this is our season. We got Yom Kippur, we got Yom Teruah, Well, this is theirs now. They wasn't around us when we was fasting. Okay? Stay away from them. And when I mean that, I mean your family.
Yeah. Say it again.
Your family.
Say it again.
Not familia.
I'll be back.
You know why?
I'm going upstate to visit my family.
You can't do that. Stay your butt down here.
Yeah. That's right.
Stay down here.
That's right.
Stay away from your family. You are not sinning.
Say it again.
You are not sinning.
Now is the time you can stay away.
You can stay away, man. You're not sinning. And
Yeah.
God gonna see your sin. Then he's gonna say, okay, you're sacrificing now.
Yeah, that's the sacrifice. Yeah.
Now that's the beginning of your sacrifice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're gonna talk.
Yeah.
The family gonna talk.
Let them.
They're gonna talk junk.
Let them.
Especially the woman.
Let them.
For some reason, I know it. I'm speaking out of experience because I've seen it.
Right.
The men in the family, they root you on. They say, hey, man, that's good, man. That's good, little sis. That's good, big brother. That's good that you're doing that. That's it. You know, it's really true, man. But then the woman, your auntie, your sister, grandma, your mama, they got a problem with it.
Listen.
Why you dressing like that? Why you got the what? I hear that man can have more than one.
That's true.
Why you mess with these people?
Why you got that man?
I've been feeding you this. This been your favorite dish. And that, ain't it? Don't they say you supposed to honor your mother?
Hey, yo,
That's why God said get away from him. I know. Because
Because
I watched a wife of mine, an ex of mine who was my wife. Her mother right in front of me.
Man.
Racist too, going in. Right? And you ain't come, look, she never went to church before. But you're mad because she come here to Shabbat. You didn't stress her about going to church. You're supposed to be a Christian. But now, because she's doing this, you want her to come.
God have a place for people like that.
That's your family. Because they are already on that side. So they would rather you have no God than to have the true and living God. That's wickedness that they cannot understand. No, you ain't gonna be able to explain it to them. They can't identify it. All right? Everybody ain't meant to do this, what we doing. It's a privilege, man. Y'all know that, man? This is an honor and a privilege, man. Yeah. I don't think of that. When you go with him, first of all, he black.
It's
What
real.
you doing with this black guy?
What you doing with him?
What you doing with him? And he talking about he served some God I never heard of.
Yo.
He said, but you know about Moses, right?
Yeah.
She, yeah, that's the God he served.
Yo.
He said, I don't know if it's that God.
Yo.
But you know,
Yo.
everybody know who the God of Moses is.
Right. Yo.
Back then they knew. He said, I serve the one who
Yeah.
created the heavens and the earth,
Yeah.
the dry land and the sea.
Yeah.
And those heathens that lived in the sea that was nowhere near Israel knew who he was talking about.
Yo.
Well, talk to me now.
Yo.
Talk to me now.
When you die,
They
you go
know.
in different space.
Your
Different
spirit
spot.
knows. Look. You might be all confused in here, but at the end of the day, your spirit knows. The spirit knows
Go
things
ahead.
that you are not aware of.
Yeah.
Your spirit is on point with things that you are not aware of because you
Right.
don't read.
Yeah.
So that you can peep things, man. And that's what I'm saying.
Come on, man.
When you're about to die, if you wasn't correct with God, you don't want to die.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll
I
see
was
what
around a
you
man. I was around a man that was correct with God, and he wanted to die. He wanted to die. He prayed to die. He going to run. I said, "What happened, Abba?" He said, "What happened?" He said, "Don't ask me nothing." He said, "I want to die, man." He cried, man.
Yo, man.
I said, "Wow, he never spoke like this."
Yo,
before."
man. On my father's deathbed, I was scared. I was more scared than
He
him.
was supposed to-
I asked him. I said, Abba, are you scared?
And what he did, he got mad at you.
He got mad at me
Thank you.
and said, nigga, this is my
This is what
home.
I've been waiting for. That's what he said, man. And that strength that we needed to see. We needed to be a witness to see that. Because this life ain't no joke. Life ain't no joke. This will have you messed up with God just like that, man. And that right there was my strength. He said, he looked at him. I can't tell you what he said. But he looked at it. If everybody knows Chief, you know what Chief said. Yeah, that man is my strength because he showed it. That's our Moses. That was our Moses, my father. In my time, in my generation, yeah, he didn't even have to be my father. I had seen it. But whoa, wait a minute. You doing stuff nobody doing. That's what the man said. You doing laws nobody is doing that you supposed to do. That's what he did. He said, yo, do everything you know. He said, you don't even have to know everything. He said, everything you know right now concerning this God, do it. Do it. That's exactly what he said.
We're gonna see each other.
He said, we're going to see each other. He said, do it. Get a grip on it. And that was our strength. So I gotta give y'all the strength we got. Okay? It's not, look, strength don't come rubbing you. It don't rub you with ointment. It come hard. It come fierce. Because you know what you fighting? Wickedness.
Right.
Wickedness got a grip on everybody and everything. You don't even know. You don't even know why you do certain things. You don't even know why. You say, man, I don't know what I was thinking. That was wicked. That was the wicked you that just took over at that minute. Showed itself. That's what you fighting. That is the fight. That's what we have to endure. And you have to be truthful with yourself. When you hear certain things, you say, man, do I have that characteristic in me? Yes, I do. So that means now it's time to stop. When that character want to rise up, I push him back down. But the only way to do that is to get mad at yourself. You ain't gonna be able to do this with a smile on your face. Because wickedness and evilness and iniquity is not a laughing matter. It don't come with jokes. Come she.
They deck it with silver and with gold.
So they take this tree, they cut it down, they bring it home, and then they what?
Deck it with
Deck the
silver and
halls. Deck the halls. That's where that song come from. That's where the song comes from.
With balls of
With
folly.
balls of folly. Folly. And that's what it is. The ball, you know what the ball stand for? Remember he was reading about when they took off the heads of the Israelites and played kickball with them? When they finished playing kickball, where you think they hang the heads? On that same tree.
On the tree. That's what the ornaments
On the
was.
same tree.
The ornaments was body
Those
parts.
balls, those silver balls and the silver, those represent the heads of the righteous that was put there. And that tree is a sign of dominance over the righteous people. Y'all don't even know what's going on. Y'all don't even know why the heathen set up certain things to limit you with God. This is why they put unclean stuff in everything, damn near everything. You gonna sin. You gonna sin somehow without knowing or knowing. They say, yo, the only way to get them is to make them sin and commit iniquity with their God. And God will remove himself from them, and we can overcome them. They figured out what our strength was. Our strength was not a giant piece of gold underground. It wasn't that. Okay? It wasn't energy. It wasn't this resource. It was God. That was it. That was the source of Israel's strength. That was where we get all of our strength from. He said, but if they commit iniquity, then we'll mess with them. He's backing up off them, just like that. Just like that. And now we can get them. That's just why certain things happen to me, because I'm out of the standard of God. So it's hunting season, duck season, it's free season. Certain things you're going to be open to, because we ain't under that banner no more. But individually, you could get yourself under that banner, because I've seen it done, and it was shown to me how it was done. And it's rigorous. And you're going to offend people. Sorry. You're the only people that's going to get offended on this move that you're making is wicked people. Don't let the family get you down. It's their wickedness speaking. It's strange what you're doing, man. You look like a wolf with all that hair on your face and your head. You look like an old grandma. You 22 years old. And you got this long, man, girl, show some legs. That's the heathen way. That's the heathen way. Whoredom is the heathen way. Just show everything. Man show everything. Woman show everything. Child show everything. We're just like animals. Tom sheep.
They fasten it with nails and with handles and it move not.
They fasten it with nails. Why? Because it can't. You took it off its roots. You cut the tree from off its roots. So it's the stump is in the woods now. Okay? And you know what they do with that stump in the woods? Before they bring the Christmas tree in, there's some stuff they do with that stump. They make that an altar and serve their gods on there, and then they bring the tree in. They got to do that first before they bring the tree in. Y'all don't even know. Y'all don't even know. And then they bring it in, and they fashion it with nails, so that because it's going to fall. Their God is going to fall and break. Tom sheep.
They are upright as a palm tree, but they
So they're upright. They sit upright. You see them sitting upright on the Rockefeller Center. Every year, they go out there and get one from way up, upstate New York. Big giant one, bring it down here. Giant, big giant tree, man. And they put it in Rockefeller Center. Every year. Yeah, every year. Right? And in school, because see all those class trips, watch it. Don't be sending your children on this. This ain't the time for no class trips. All class trips involve will be going to see A Christmas Story. Yeah. It's a movie about a little kid that wanted a certain gun and he took his eye out. They only show it around this time. Certain movies they only show around that time. Don't let your kids get orientated to watching these things. Leave that stuff alone. Because you learn to tolerate and appreciate it. Oh yeah, I don't believe it, but you will tolerate it. You will appreciate what the person that's in it. Okay? Tamshi.
They must needs be born because they cannot go.
Born means carried. They need to be carried because they can't walk on their own.
Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil.
Don't be afraid of them. People fear, because you've been told that this is God all your life. So you're gonna have some fear to it. That's what he's saying. They have fear. The world fears evil. They fear the wrong thing. They don't even know God to know who to fear. So they fear things that are not alive. They fear animals. Tongue sheets.
So they cannot do evil, neither also is
They
it
can't do you no good nor evil. They can't pronounce you no blessing or no cursing.
neither is it in them to do good. For as much as there is none like unto thee, O Israel.
There is nobody like you, God.
Hallelujah.
There is no one like you, God. There was no one as big as you, God. There was no one as powerful as you, God. There was no one that has the intelligence you have, God. There was no one that has your wisdom, God. There was nobody's will as strong as yours, God. Tamshi.
None like unto thee, O Israel. Thou art great, and thy name is great in might. Who would not fear thee, O King of nations? For to thee doth they appertain.
Okay, back to 2 Kings now. Verse 17. It's saying King Ahaz cut off the borders of the bases and removed the labor from off them. Now, so see, that was Jeremiah 10. Ancient world. And they're telling you about one of the most celebrated heathen holidays. He tell you what they do. Before you was even born, before an America was made, that's what they was doing. Ben was doing it. Tough shit.
And took down the sea from over the brazen oxen that were under it, and put it upon the pavement of stones. And the covert for the Shabbat day that they had built in the house, and the king's entry without, turned he into the house of the Lord because of the king of Assyria.
So where they gather at for Shabbat, all of that he shut down now. Tamshi.
And the rest of the acts of Ahaz which he did, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Judah?
When you go into the Chronicles, you hear about more stuff that he did. Tamshi.
And Ahaz slept with his fathers and was buried with his fathers in the city of David. And Hezekiah his son reigned in his stead.
Now, that was a good king. Hezekiah was a good thing. All the stuff we just read that Ahaz did, Hezekiah came and turned it around. He got rid of all the stuff that his father. Look. He didn't do none of that stuff until his father was dead.
Right. That's respect. Honor. Respect and honor.
He was wrong. The father was wrong. But God, and look, the son is right. God ain't going to empower the son against the father.
No.
Even though he's going against God, right or wrong.
Right.
Even though the father or the mother is going against God, right? But what God going to deal with him and take him.
That's God.
And then you can correct what was done. And you don't even have to bash. You don't have to say nothing. Just take it, get rid of it. Because these are things, and you see the narrators, what the narrators say, certain things we can't say. Oh, but you know, that brother would say it was wicked, so he was wicked. Don't do that. Don't do that. We are nowhere, no shape or fashion, even a quarter. These people.
No.
Okay?
No.
Look. Most of us ain't out the seat of Israel. Y'all don't know the history. Y'all really don't know the. Y'all know the history that they taught us, but y'all don't know the real history. Tom sheet.
Chapter 8, chapter 7. 17. In the 12th year of Ahaz's kingdom.
We're in 2 Kings chapter 17.
Began Hoshea the son of Elah to reign in Samaria over Israel.
Now, before Ahaz died, right? Hoshea began to reign. Hoshea is the last king of Samaria in Israel. Tamshi.
And he did that which was evil in the sight of Israel.
It didn't say all the stuff he did, but he did evil stuff. He did evil stuff. God didn't like it. It was evil. He didn't walk in the footsteps or after the reign of David. Tamshi.
But not as the kings of Israel that were before him. Against him came up Shalmaneser, king of Assyria. And Hoshea became his servant and gave him presents.
So God raises up a heathen. And you see, oh man, look, little heathens, and they gotta. You can't be mad because God did this. God put you under them because He had you running stuff, and you wanted to be like them. So guess what? He's gonna put you under them. Verse 3. I'm at verse 3. Don't you see how this is God's politics? All right. You serve God. He tell you don't follow nobody. Don't follow these heathens. You follow the heathens. Guess how He gets you back? He put you under those heathens.
Yep.
Didn't He do that with Israel? That's right. He said, do not follow the people that are around about you. They followed the people that were around about them. God allowed the people that were around about them to surround them, take them, capture them, and put them. Now, when you want, now that you're in jail and you want to be here, you wish you was here, you're in jail. You're in a dungeon. You're in a faraway land that's not yours. You don't got taken somewhere and put somewhere away from your family. You know what it is to get snatched out of your home? Have anybody been snatched out of their home in front of their parents? In front of their kids? Their brothers and sisters? So imagine that on a wide, wide scale. Imagine that on a wide scale. That's what happened. But why that happened?
It's happening right now.
That's what's happening right now. Yeah. It happens.
Family.
Yeah, man.
Babies and all that.
Get snatched up. And look. Hopefully you'll be back. Most don't come back.
Wait a minute.
Most don't get 70 years or get a sentence. In that situation, you don't come back. So this is what was going on. Time sheet.
2 Kings 17:3. 4. And the king of Assyria found conspiracy in Hoshea, for he had sent messengers to So, king of Egypt.
So is the king of Egypt, right? Assyria, the king of Assyria, he said, wait a minute, hold on. You my servant. I run this. What are you doing going to him for help? You trying to get him on me? And so that means he found conspiracy. Like, look, this guy's plotting against me with that guy now. If he helps that guy, the king of Egypt could rule now. This was a power struggle. And Israel was always in the middle of it, kissing up to whoever is in charge. They were put in that position because they didn't do what God said.
And brought no presents to the king of Assyria.
Uh-oh, he didn't pay. Presents, all right. This is it now. You're the king, right? But you still allowed me to be king in my land. I have to pay in order to still be king.
Right.
Okay? What you said? Tribute. They call it tribute. They call it presents. But really, it's a payoff. It's a payoff. Because if you don't pay, see, yo, man, every year this guy come up and bring me stuff from the land. Now he ain't coming. Yo, get the army. Go run down on him.
Yes.
Time sheet.
As he had done year by year. Therefore the king of Assyria shut him up and bound him in prison. Then the king of Assyria came up throughout all the land and went up to Samaria and besieged it 3 years. In the 9th year of Hoshea, king of Assyria, took Samaria and carried away Israel into Assyria.
Yo, they surrounded you. They surrounded Samaria for 3 years. That's a siege. Nothing going out, nothing coming in, no planes going out, no cars going over no bridge. All the bridges is cut. Matter of fact, they blew all the bridges up. It's too much movement, too much movement, too much movement. Besiege is when you come around and you cut everything from coming in, going out. No more food. Whatever food you had in there, After you
Shut
finish
down.
eating it, it's over because no trucks coming in. What happened here when no trucks was coming with baby food? Remember?
Yeah.
Remember the formula, right? Okay, so imagine if somebody said we cutting off all of America's supply. China ain't getting nothing in. These ain't getting nothing. You ain't getting no imports from nothing. Okay, we good for a while, but damn, we can see that after a while, we ain't got no food, right? God cursed the land. He ain't making it rain, so we can't grow nothing. Matter of fact, to get to our farmland, we got to get out the city and open the gates. But they right there waiting. Because we didn't listen to God. That's what happened. For 3 years, they were shut in. They were shut in. Nobody said, well, look, listen, we ain't staying shut in. We're going to fight and die.
Yeah.
God took that from
That will.
you so that you going to go along with the punishment he got for you. You're not going to be tough at the time that God put the punishment on you. Not that moment. Okay? He will take it from you. Look at Joab. Mighty Joab, the city taker. 10 armor bearers. Gangster. But look, he didn't serve another God. Let's keep it real. Did he?
Nope.
He didn't serve no other God. Right? But when he turned on David, the servant of God, that was his mistake. He wasn't loyal. So God
Took his heart.
God took his heart,
courage.
took that gangster, and all that. So when another gangster came up, he ran. And that fight would have been a fight. Benaiah and Joab. But what I read about them, they were evenly matched, man.
Yeah.
But now,
God took his heart.
God took his heart, man. That's not Joab. You don't want to do that. Take cities, man. He got 10 armor bearers, man. How much weapons you got? How many times you gonna kill a person?
He told King David, man, you better come out the house and come
Yo,
down.
come get this city before I name it after myself.
myself.
It's crazy.
David came
Name
out.
it after myself.
David came out.
Yeah.
They took the crown and put it on his head.
Yeah, he came out.
All right.
So he wasn't no soft dude. Joab wasn't soft, man. None of the dudes that rolled with David was soft. He said, no, man, the guys that roll with him, his mans,
They called him
his
Mighty
mans
Man.
in them. He said they're like bears robbed of their whelps.
Yo, they called them King David's mighty
Mighty men.
men.
Mighty men. They were, you know,
That's Marvel.
Seals,
That's
man.
Marvel.
He said they're valiant. And I looked up the word valiant in the Hebrew. You know what it said? You know what it means? It means that they only fear God. You know what valiant means? They only fear God. Valiant means they don't fear death. So you can scare me with death.
It's not gonna work. Son.
It's not gonna work.
They'll try to catch a bullet with their mouth. They'll tell you to shoot and try to catch it.
Tamshi.
It's crazy. Son.
And placed them in Halah and in Habor, where the river goes on, and in the cities of the Medes.
Okay, so they do what they do today. Displacement. They don't just put you in prison. They take you away from where the city you live in, and put you far away.
Colorado.
Up in a mountainous area where it's hard to escape. Okay? They call it up north. And guess what? This was up north from Israel. Do y'all know that? All these places, Assyria is up. Everything going up from Israel, this is Israel. Everything going up is north. As you go up, you're going north toward the North Pole. That word, yo, man, it took them up north. That's been going on. The American, the world jail system learned from these kings. I come, I conquer you, split the families up, bring them, put some over here, put some in the other places that I conquered. And those places that I conquered, I take these guys and I put them in Israel. Now we got a bunch of heathens calling themselves Hebrews and Israelites. This is where you get churches that say the High Holy Hill of Ebenezer, Samaria, Capitol Hill, this, that, and the third. This is where you get all this stuff from. Okay?
For so it was that the children of Israel had transgressed against El Israel their elders.
Now we're going to get to the crust. All of this, it said, for it was so. Meaning this happened because the children of Israel sinned against the Lord God. which had brought them out of the land of Egypt from under the hand of Pharaoh. Never forget this. You guys are here because I saved your fathers. If God did not take them out of Egypt, they would have died in Egypt. Those people would have never existed as the nation of Israel. They would have never got formed. Y'all know that?
Yeah.
Because you killing all the males. After a while, ain't no more males. And that's it. You have a bunch of Israelite women, the nation gone. That was to exterminate. So now don't you think they're still doing the same thing? Oh yeah. All these shots, flu shots, this shot, this new stuff. Oh, but you gotta take it. Who said I gotta take it? Who said I need this? Who said I need that? Why all your insulin made with pig juice? And don't you get the diabetes from
Yes.
over amount of sugar in your body?
Yes.
That ain't gonna help.
It's not.
You see what's going on? See what world we living in? Same thing, but look, you say, man, it puts this stuff in the juice. No, they don't, brother. People don't believe now.
Right.
But the leaders, they say, okay, they're starting to catch on. They say, you know what? These people are starting to eat healthy. They're going organic. They're doing this. And you know what? We're going to put what we want them to eat, we're going to put it in the ground.
Bill Gates.
Bill Gates.
That's really possible.
So wherever you plant, whatever you trying to get away from that you don't want in your fruits and vegetables, Bill Gates going to make sure it's in there. He's going to make sure it's in there. He is implanting the whole world. All the fertile soil in the world is going to have whatever he wants to put in there. He found a way to do it. You need God. You're going to need God. You're going to need God. You're going to need God.
Amen.
No. You're still going to die. Still going to die. We all got to go. But stay on the Lord's side. So you're going to need it till at least you can survive until the day of your death. Yeah. Because the stuff that's happening now, they want your boys to be girls and your girls to be boys, man.
Dresses.
They want the men to accept everything, and the women don't accept nothing. The women are becoming the aggressors. The women are having more than one man now.
And you can't have more than one.
And I can't have more than one.
Crazy, son.
I'm talking about not even amongst Israelites, in the heathen world.
Yes.
In the world of pimps and hoes. Okay? Now you got pimp women. And they get,
Y'all
see it?
Nigga, you keep your mouth shut. Shut up.
You see it?
I got group girls.
Not over here.
Now she now she don't want to be, I don't know what she want to be the pimp.
Not over here.
So who gonna be the host?
I said not over here.
And everybody's okay with this.
Not over here.
Everybody's okay with it.
It's crazy.
That's what the girl, she said, well, look, listen, I don't see why I can't have more than one woman.
Yeah.
More than one. Look. She said, and the way she did say woman. She said, I can't have more than one woman and man. I said, damn, you taking this to, you perverting what's already corrupt now. Now you taking it somewhere else. I don't want to talk to you no more.
That's right.
You asked me a question to argue with me. Bye, get out of here. Tell shit.
Of course. And brought them out of the land.
Yo, man.
From under the hand of Pharaoh.
Yo. The woman is outside in the woods cutting the tree. She's the one. It said the workman. It said the workman with the axe go up in there. I just told y'all I was a lumberjack. There's no such thing as woman lumberjacks.
No,
there
man.
is now.
Crazy.
There is now.
It's in the
There
commercial.
was no such thing as women boxers. There is now.
It's in the commercial.
And then you got a man want to be a woman, and he out swimming all the women. Stand up there with the gold on him, and the woman looking like this. That's your fault, woman, because y'all accepted those weird guys, and you want us to be like them.
The nigga that transitioned to MMA
He transitioned.
He in
They
the
beating on a woman
Yo,
up.
he's drawing.
But he a woman
He's
now.
not losing.
You see, it's game. Well, but you gotta accept him as a woman. So now he enters women's sports and dominate all the women.
Son, he's a champion.
He
He's a champion his first month.
No way.
She had him. She had him. He looked at her and said, she had him again. You know he gonna win.
You heard Trump? Trump said
Tell him what Trump said.
he said he's gonna call LeBron James and 5 of the best athletes in the NBA and tell them to turn to a woman.
To make the transition.
Make the transition to a woman. And we're gonna go into the women's league and win every game forever.
Because this is what y'all doing. What he's saying is, y'all making it to where if I change and transition, now there y'all making that look righteous.
Wait.
Come on, man.
He said, I'm gonna call LeBron James. Even though I don't like him. He said, we're gonna be undefeated forever.
But look, even he see it. The guy that nobody likes. Look. He ain't with it. Look, the guy that nobody likes, he's a racist, he's this and that. But he's not with that transgender, transition, anything trans.
He's not.
Look, the only thing I knew was Transformers.
Transmission.
Okay? That was robots. Now you got humans transforming, man. It's not good, man. This is not good. This is an abomination. This is what the men had to kick out of the temple after a while.
He said it.
I'm telling him on that, man. This is the guy everybody hates, you know.
Everybody hates.
But he downs that. He downs the transitioning from a man transitioning to being a woman and a woman transitioning to be a man. What's up, man? What's going on? Yo, hey, get off my face with that, man. And people don't like me because I got a big mouth. And I got a big mouth. Especially when I'm talking about my God, and it feels good to be the only one to say I don't do something and look down on you. Yeah, it does feel good. Yeah.
Different.
Yeah.
No.
It does feel good.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? So, but nah, I don't do that. I don't put my mouth there.
Nah.
How about that? You do that.
You better.
The man do that.
You better.
Get up out of here. Tough shit.
Low told.
From under the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and that fear of the gods, and walked in the statutes of the heathen.
They walked in the statutes of the heathen. What are the statutes? The statutes of the days that God prescribed is the Shabbat. Give me some more. What are the days that God commanded us to observe? The Shabbat is number one. The Shabbat was the first one here before any day. The Shabbat was here before man. The Shabbat was here. There's nothing holier. There's no other day holier than the Shabbat. Those other days, it said it shall be a Shabbat. A, not the. So this is the Shabbats. This is the father of all Shabbats. This is the only Shabbat. This day is a Shabbat of rest because we have to treat it like unto the Shabbat, but it's a feast day. So at the time that we're gathered and we're having a congregation, that's the solemn part. It's like as if you in Shabbat teachings. But when we break on the feast day, it's not like Shabbat teachings. Because I'm smoking, I'm drinking, I'm lighting up, I'm cooking, and whatever. So there's you can't the days when the other days, the feast days fall on the Shabbat, there's the rules of the Shabbat outlast any other day.
Nah.
Okay, if it's a feast day, you can have the food, but the merriment you got to keep down. All that extra stuff got to keep the party part. You got to keep down. You can't be killing in no fire. You can't cook on Shabbat, man. That's why I say prepare. It said bake that which he will bake and seed that which he will seed on the sixth day. The sixth day is the Friday. It's before Shabbat.
That's a fact.
That's why he told them that. And what they did, they didn't listen either.
That's right.
They didn't prepare. They didn't do that. They said they didn't believe.
That's right.
So they went out there looking for it. And God said, how long is it going to take for you to believe God? That's what he asked Moses. How long is it going to take? You know, I said, man, listen, how long is it going to take for them to believe me, man? That's how God is starting to get upset.
everything I'm
He started to
showing
get upset.
you.
And I seen how
Glory.
he was being cool before that. He was being real cool before that. But then after that incident there, he said, how long is it going to take for them to believe me?
Right.
But by now they should be believing me. 10 plagues?
Kill
10
him. Kill him. 10 plagues. Moses had to turn around and say, oh, yo, Aaron, hurry up. Get
Stop
on
the
out.
plague.
So the plague is out.
You see, from here on in, once y'all mess up, wipe out. Those plagues, every time them plagues came was to wipe everybody out. The only one that was going to be saved alive was Moses. He said, I'm going to make a nation out of you. He said, because look, I don't kill people for no reason. The soul that sinneth, it shall die.
That's
And that soul only dies. Your body been in the ground. Your soul dies when you go to meet God.
Amen.
Your soul don't die when your body died. When we say, hey man, he dead, your body died. Your soul didn't.
No.
That's right.
It says the soul that sinneth, it shall die. So wherever your soul go, when this dies, when you were sinning here, that soul gonna die wherever it's going. There's 2 deaths. Death of the physical, death of the spiritual. Death of the physical is when we die here. Your spirit don't die yet.
Don't.
It goes to see God.
Huh.
Time sheet.
Walk in the statutes of the heathen, whom Israel cast out from before the children of Israel, and of the kings of Israel which they had made. And the children of Israel deceitfully those things that were not right
Now-
against the Lord their God.
Now they want to sneak. You can't sneak and do your iniquities. Stop sneaking and eating stuff you ain't got no business eating. Stop sneaking and having sex with people you ain't supposed to be having sex with. Stop sneaking and doing all these things. Stop sneaking and violating the Shabbat. Stop sneaking and lying. Stop sneaking. Stop doing the secret things that you ain't supposed to be doing. But you in front of God.
Stop sneaking and dealing falsely.
Dealing falsely with people, man.
Because you ain't sneaking, God see you.
God see you. You think it's in secret.
Amen.
Tell she. He said, look, he said it was the children of Israel had sinned against their God. He said they walked in the statutes of the heathen, whom God cast out before them.
Yeah.
That'll make sense.
Deuteronomy 7. Moses said, look, man, these Canaanite guys, Perizzites, Hivites, all the ites, they gotta go. They gotta go. Right? They gotta go. And I'm gonna use you to get rid of them. But don't do what they did. Leviticus 18 to tell you how they lived. They slept with each other. They had incest. They slept with animals. They ate dead animals. They ate blood. They ate fat. They ate more things than blood and fat. They ate stuff you wouldn't eat. They ate stuff Chinese people wouldn't eat.
Okay.
Yeah. So now, when they did that, God said, okay, because of these sins, they can't stay on the land. I'm going to put y'all on to something. From then till now, whoever lives in that land called Israel, I don't care who they are, if they're not following these commandments, they're not going to live in the land. The land will spew them out. The same thing went down. It went down for the Canaanites, then it happened to the Israelites. And guess what? It's going to happen to everybody who came after. That's all I got to say. We are people of a higher learned. We know. All right, when things go down on this planet, we know where it's coming from and why.
Right.
So sometimes you ain't gonna see. I'm not gonna cry like for the heathen and everybody's making it. You ain't gonna see me cry because I know where it's coming from. Just like when Jonah, he went all the way deep in the belly of the ship. He knew where the storm was coming from.
That's why,
So he wasn't shook. They were. So it's the same thing. We know, man. You know. Been coming here long enough. We ain't stupid. Look, and that spirit that each of you got housed in your bodies, no. It's the wickedness that surrounds it that has to get broken. Tamshi.
And the children of Israel did secretly those things that were
Not right.
against the Lord their God. They built them high places in all their cities. From the tower of the watchman to the fenced city.
High places is where they go. The higher you go, they said they figure that the higher you go, the closer to God, to whatever they're worshiping, you're close to. Okay? Tamshi.
And they set them up images and groves in every high hill and under every green tree. And there they burnt incense in all the high places, as did the heathen whom Israel carried away from before them. And
you wound up doing the same. I might as well have just left my earlier tenants, which was the Canaanites here. I told you, don't go do what they did. Don't, as a matter of fact, don't even leave them alive, because I don't want you to marry into them, because their DNA is totally corrupt. And for the time Abraham was alive, God already had it in for them. He said, but their time wasn't there yet. The iniquity of the Amorites have not yet been fulfilled, meaning their iniquity's got to reach here. It's right here, right now, in Abraham's time. By the time Moses was born, it reached. See how God works? Don't she?
And there they burnt incense in all the high places, as did the heathen whom Israel carried away from before them, and wrought wicked things to provoke the Most High to anger. For they served idols whereof Israel had said.
This is the thing that they caused God to get mad with. They turned to idols. Listen real close to what they did now.
Whereof Israel had said unto them, ye shall not do this thing. Yet the Most High testified against Israel and against Yehudah by all the prophets and by all the seers, saying, turn ye from your evil ways and keep my commandments and my statutes.
See, it's a rundown now. You know something's about to happen, right?
Right.
They say, yo, man, ever since the day I brought you up out of Egypt, y'all provoke me. Even now, I don't send prophets. I don't want you. I don't did this. So you know he's tired of it now. He's tired of the situation. Something's gonna be done about it. Don't you?
According to all the law which I commanded your fathers, and which I sent to you by my servants the prophets, notwithstanding they would not hear, but hardened their necks. Like to the
more they got warned, the more they hardened their necks. That's us. I mean, look, if you don't know exactly if you're out of Israel, but I know one thing: you got the same character they got. When it comes to going against God, now you can identify. Ain't that something? Tell you.
Like to the necks of their fathers that did not believe in the Most High their El, and they rejected his statutes and his covenant that he made with their fathers, and his testimonies which he testified against them. And they followed vanity and became vain and went after the heathen that were round about.
Okay, go down to verse 24.
24.
Finish this off, yeah.
And the king of Assyria brought the man from Babylon.
He brought people, outsiders from Babylon, Kutha, Alba.
From Hamath.
All of this is in the Middle East. Kazakhstan, Afghanistan, all these those old places. Asia.
All in Asia.
All of that
Not
is
in
Asia.
Yeah, I think keep saying that.
What they call today the Middle East. That is Asia.
Geographic stuff.
That's why you hear certain dudes say the Asiatic man.
Yeah.
Right? Asiatic man means he come from the region of Asia, which is what they call the Middle East. Okay? I hope you got something out of what was brought today, it will be brought earlier. Remember, today is the Shabbat day. Watch your words, watch your emotions. Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom God. Shalom. Blessed be his holy name.
Blessed be his holy name.
Shalom.